Thanks for stopping by Minnesota Black Robe Regiment. As always, make sure you're subscribed and you're checking out the bell icon to get notifications. And also, as always, like, comment, and share. Love feedback. Feedback is incredibly important because it tells me what I need to improve on. And I know for some of you, the only way I could improve would be to go away. That's not going to happen. So what are we going to talk about? Well, we're going to be talking about Broders pasta bar. So story broke, and this kind of blew up locally here in Minnesota, and Gateway Pundit happened to pick it up, but I felt the need that we need to talk about this. Broders Pasta Bar in the Twin City metro area has decided they're going to now start charging an equity charge. Now, I'm going to read to you, stupid microphone. I'm going to read to you from their website, and this is directly from their website, okay? It says, what is the benefits and equity charge? Historically, restaurants have relied on customers trying to supplement the wages of its customer-facing service staff. In other words, people who are bartenders, waiters, waitresses, servers, things like that. Is it part of a traditional restaurant economic model? In many states have allowed reduced minimum wages for service staff in the form of a tip credit. Full stop. Minnesota is not one of those states. Minnesota does not allow you to pay your tipped staff less. You just have to go south to Iowa to see that they do. And the servers in Iowa restaurants would tell you, please do not raise minimum wage for us because we'll make less money. But Minnesota doesn't allow that. So if you're a $500,000 a year or more restaurant business and you have tipped staff, you have to pay them at least the going minimum wage rate, period. So this is a ruse, okay? Studies have also shown that there is an inequity and built-in bias in the way customers tip, our consumers give tips. In general, Black or brown servers receive less tips than Caucasian servers. There is a gender bias as well. In restaurants, immigrants and people of color work mostly in the kitchen and have no access to gratuities to supplement their hourly wage. Stop. Broders Pasta Bar is accusing their customer base of being racist. That's what they just did. They accuse their customer base of being racist and misogynistic, by the way, because I know that nobody wants to hear this, but when they say, how do they use? There is a gender bias as well. There are two genders, male, female, man or woman. That's it. Okay. So whether or not Broders likes it, they've just accused their entire customer base of being misogynistic, racist, white supremacy thugs. So if those are the people that they're attracting, then they need to ask themselves what their business model is conveying. What about your business is attracting white supremacy, misogynistic pigs, okay? The other problem is in restaurants, immigrants and people of color work mostly in the kitchens and have no access to gratuities to supplement their hourly wage. First, I want to say, if people in the back of the house, in the kitchen area, don't have access to gratuities to supplement their hourly wage, then that's on the business to increase that and to make it more lucrative for a person to work there. You don't get to blame your customer base because they don't tip the kitchen staff. Are you kidding me? This is hogwash. And it's clear that Broders has bought into woke theology and the cult of social justice. And so now they want to start charging their customer base more, and they're doing it under the guise of being woke. Okay? They're being woke. Broders is woke. It's a woke pasta bar. Okay? The other part of this is that isn't it the responsibility then of Broders to, instead of in general, put most of the black or brown servers, or immigrants and people of color in the kitchen? If you feel like that they're working in the kitchen because they're immigrants or people of color, then maybe you should be doing something to your own policy Maybe you should be doing something to change that, Broders. Maybe it's your policy that's creating that. Maybe it's somebody that you have hiring your staff and deciding where to put them that's causing that. What are you doing to change that? So, but we're going to go on because Minnesota state law does not allow a tip credit and does not allow restaurants to pool tips. Only the direct facing service employee can decide if there should be a sharing of tips among other service workers. So what? They earn the tip. Why should they have to decide why should they even be considering sharing it? So unless the patron says, hey, could you, here's 20 for you and here's 15 for the kitchen staff, why should they even have to do that? Increased menu prices constitute higher tips, which along with increased minimum wages adds to the disparity between the front customer service staff and back of the house kitchen staff. There again, that's on you, Broders. That's not on your public. So here we go. In wake of racial injustice protests and closures due to COVID, now is a time for Broders to reimagine its economics and provide fair pay across the company. Minnesota does not allow restaurants to impose an automatic gratuity and pool tips. What we can do is impose, and I love that they're using that word. They're really exposing this. We can impose a benefits and equity charge on our sales that is not a gratuity. This is what they're doing. It is an imposition. It is, you are going to pay your tithe to the Church of Wokeness. You're going to pay your tithe to the Church of Woke-ianity, the Church of Wokeism. That's what it is. They're imposing it. You will pay your tithe. You will pay your tithe, or you are not a good person. So I'm going to read that. What we can do is impose a benefits and equity charge on our sales that is not a gratuity. Our benefits and equity charge is applied entirely to employee compensation. This is Marxism, people. This is the economic end of the social Marxism that you're seeing. This supplement helps us to set a $16 minimum hourly wage for customer-facing employees, an $18 minimum hourly wage for kitchen employees, more with increased responsibility, above all government standards, to provide benefits of paid time off and health insurance, and to distribute 5% of daily revenue to all employees based on hours worked. Altogether, this allows everyone in our company to earn a living wage. The 15% of benefits and equity charge is not a gratuity. This means any small gratuities left on top are completely discretionary, but if you choose to tip, it will be distributed to only the customer-facing service staff. First of all, this is economic Marxism at its end. It's social Marxism on the front end. It's insulting to your customer base. Okay? It is absolutely insulting to your customer base, Broders. Absolutely insulting. It's asinine that you would think that any way, shape, or form what you just did is not insulting to your customer base. This is a giant slap in the face to people who have been supporting your business. And furthermore, if you're not paying your people a livable wage, don't turn around and impose a benefits and equity charge on your customer base and try and paint it as if somehow you're magnanimous and caring and loving and that you're doing what you can to provide a living wage. You could have done this long before, but now you want to be seen as the saviors of whoever because you've been failing, Broders. You've been failing. The government's not failing. Your customer base isn't failing. Broders, you're failing, and now you're blaming your customer base, and you're saying that the government has stood in the way of you being able to do other things in the past, so now you're gonna fix it. Broders, I hope that your customer base, and I know you exist in a world where you are surrounded by other leftists who think just like you, so they're probably going to be all on board with this. But I hope the majority of the people in your area who have previously loved this but are not Marxist in their thought process, who don't worship in the Church of Woke-ianity, who are not members of the cult of social justice, I hope just 50% of them will take their business somewhere else to an entrepreneurial business that tells their employees, work hard, earn your tips, and earn your back of the house wages. I hope that's what happens. I hope this impacts your bottom line. And you know what? I hope you close. I hope you close. Now, it's probably not going to happen because there's so many leftists up there who are going to be snowballed into thinking that this is the best way for you to handle this, that they're going to fall in line and they're going to do it. And it's going to turn it into a giant woke party. But this is on its face. It's Marxism. It's Marxism. Now, granted, it's not governmentally instituted into your business, but it's Marxism all the same. This is what's happening to you. This is what's going on. You're instituting Marxist policies, and every place that this happens either ends up driving away their good staff, driving away their solid customer base, or they just end up closing. And I hope that people don't go out and organize some massive protest out in front of your business for this because, well, quite frankly, conservative, constitutionalist, individualist, volunteerists don't do that very often. But what they do is they boycott by walking away. I hope they walk away. I hope they do. I hope you lose your businesses. I hope you do. I hope you do, because the message you're sending is that your customer base are nothing but a bunch of racist, sexist, misogynistic, hateful people. And it's their fault that you haven't been able to take care of your staff better. No, it's your fault. If you haven't been running your business the way you should be, this is on you, not on your customers. And stop looking to the government to fix this for you, and stop blaming everybody else and start looking at your own management policies. This is disgusting that you would do this to your customer base. I hope you lose. As always, until next time, sic semper, tyrannis.